the real-world inspirations of Game of Thrones locations. A deep dive. First, the Seven Kingdoms Westeros, the medieval Britain. The continent of Westeros is widely believed to be inspired by Great Britain. The shape of the continent resembles Britain if you stretch it northward, and its climate changes from a cold, harsh north to a temperate south, much like the British Isles and northern Europe. The political structure of feudal lords serving a king is a direct reflection of medieval England's governance. The most significant parallel is the War of the Five Kings, which is heavily inspired by the Wars of the Roses, a series of English civil wars fought between the House of Lancaster and the House of York. The rival houses of Stark and Lannister in the series mirror this historical conflict. With the names themselves being strikingly similar, York became Stark, and Lancaster became Lannister. This historical blueprint provides the series with its core conflict of dynastic struggle and betrayal. The North gives Scotland. The cold, rugged lands, ruled by House Stark, are a clear parallel to Scotland. The region's geography, with its mountains and forests, and the fierce, honor-driven nature of its warriors, are all reminiscent of Scottish culture. The stronghold of Winterfell itself feels like a composite of various Scottish and Northern English castles, embodying the resilience and strength of the North. The famous Stark phrase, "The North remembers," echoes the historical spirit of independence and clan loyalty that has long defined Scotland. 3. The Wall gives Hadrian's Wall. The colossal ice barrier known as the Wall has a direct and fascinating real-world counterpart, Hadrian's Wall. Built by the Roman Empire around 122 AD, this massive fortification was constructed to separate Roman Britain from the unconquered tribes to the north. In Game of Thrones, the Night's Watch guards the wall, a duty that mirrors the role of Roman soldiers who patrolled Hadrian's Wall, defending the frontier from the barbarians beyond. The free folk, who live north of the wall, are inspired by the ancient Pictish tribes of Scotland, who famously resisted Roman conquest. Next, the Iron Islands gives Viking Scandinavia. The harsh, salt-sprayed homeland of House Greyjoy is a direct homage to Viking-era Scandinavia, particularly Norway. The Ironbones culture is built around raiding and naval power, with a society that values strength and conquest over agriculture. Their longships, warrior religion, and the saying, "We do not sow," all reflect the historical realities of the Vikings, who were famed for their seafaring prowess and raids across Europe. Next, Dorne gives Spain Moorish Iberia. The hot, arid southern kingdom of Dorne is heavily inspired by medieval Spain, especially during the time of Moorish rule. Its desert landscapes, warm climate, and more relaxed attitudes toward romance and sexuality are all hallmarks of this historical period. The ruling House Martell, with its strong female leaders, reflects the unique cultural blend of Mediterranean and Moorish nobility. The architecture and clothing seen in the show's depiction of Dorne were directly influenced by the beautiful and intricate designs of Andal. Next, King's Landing gives medieval London. The bustling, corrupt capital city of King's Landing draws strong parallels with medieval London. Its crowded streets, pervasive political intrigue, and the ever-present threat of royal court corruption are all reminiscent of London's past. The massive river that runs through the city is another shared feature. Even the Great Sept of Baila, the center of religious life in King's Landing, is inspired by grand European cathedrals like Notre Dame in Paris, symbolizing the fusion of power and faith. Across the narrow sea, the continent of Essos offers a tapestry of cultures inspired by Asia, the Middle East, and Central Asia, providing a stark contrast to the European-centric West. Next, Dothraki Sea gives Mongolian steppe. The vast windswept grasslands of the Dothraki Sea are a clear nod to the Mongolian steppe. The Dothraki, a nomadic tribe of warrior horsemen, are directly inspired by the Mongol armies led by Genghis Khan. Their entire culture revolves around the horse, and their society is geared toward warfare and conquest. Even their curved swords, known as ariks, are similar in design to Mongol sabers, further cementing the connection between these two formidable warrior cultures. Next, Slaver's Bay gives ancient Mediterranean slave empires. The cities of Astapa, Yonkai, and Meran in Slaver's Bay are inspired by the great slave-owning empires of the ancient Mediterranean. Their cultures are a blend of influences from ancient Rome, Egypt, and Carthage, with a focus on wealth, power, and the brutal institution of slavery. The pyramids and harpy symbols found in these cities are direct references to Egyptian and Phoenician art and mythology, highlighting the region's ancient and often cruel history. Next, Braavos gives Venice. The mysterious and powerful city of Braavos is a fantasy counterpart to the historical city of Venice. Built on a network of canals and renowned for its powerful banks, Braavos shares many similarities with the Italian city-state. Its secretive guilds, masked traditions, and the enigmatic assassins known as the Faceless Men, who operate from the House of Black and White, all contribute to the city's mystical and dangerous reputation, much like the shadowy dealings of Renaissance Venice. Even the existential threat of the White Walkers, the icy demons from beyond the wall, has its roots in real-world mythology. These creatures echo ancient Norse and Celtic legends of frozen monsters and demons that were said to emerge from the far north to bring death and destruction. These stories, passed down through generations, provided a rich well of inspiration for the ultimate antagonists of the series. What makes the world of Game of Thrones feel so immersive and believable is that it is not a pure invention. Instead, George R.R. Martin masterfully wove together threads of real history, from the civil wars of Britain to the Mongol horse empires, and from the Roman frontiers to the slave cities of the Mediterranean. As he famously said, "If you steal from one source, it's plagiarism. If you steal from many, it's research." This approach is why Westeros feels so strangely familiar, like a dark and captivating reflection of our own tumultuous history. If you enjoyed this journey into the world of Westeros, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to Stories and Tales, and join our growing fellowship of storytellers. Because in this channel, every story hides a secret waiting to be discovered.